Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the early morning show. Actually, I am going to declare this Food Bank TV this morning, which is a special program that we provide a platform for the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana. Sorry, Victor Garcia. Sorry, I didn't ask for permission first, but I'm a pirate. for with all good intentions this morning, with very good intentions. I began looking at the content I'm about to deliver today, and I thought no better time than to pull out the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana TV show and use it. And Victor, I know, would be so happy to be here, except he's saving lives. Um, can't say enough about that. He every morning he gets up and goes to the food bank to save lives. We have to keep that in mind. And so this show is for them exclusively. We're going to talk about the concert that we're going to have. Awesome concert. May I say again, awesomeness upon awesomeness upon awesomeness. You can't get any better than this. Oh my goodness. We are cranking it up. As the millennials say, we're lit. I hope I use that term correctly because I am a boomer. Okay, boomer, get on with it. All right, so what we got with you today is, I'm just putting this out there. I know you heard about this concert before. Today at 6 o'clock, please tune in. It is going to be amazing. Kelly and I are going to come on a little bit before, maybe 15 minutes before 5:45. So look out for that. You'll get a notification if you like the Bill and Kelly show page, and hopefully we're going to be able to find a way to get some of this streamed over in the food bank. We'll find a way, but please tune in. You are going to hear some amazing music, all for the good of the food bank in Northwest Indiana and the work that they do to save lives. And I'm going to go beyond the feeding part because right now they are saving lives. There's no other question about it. I saw it firsthand. I saw people that came to get the eggs, which is just really a fraction of what they do. But look at the impact it had. I haven't seen Broadway, and I grew up in Maryville. I have never seen Broadway that packed. Yeah, it was packed, and but when you get the word that there are free eggs and you can have up to 6 dozen, if you will, for your family, you get up, get in that car, and go because that's a protein and it's an important part of our diet. So, thank you, Dutch Farms, for donating those eggs. Awesome, you will be in our hearts forever. Thank you, Food Bank of Northwest Indiana, for providing the avenue for people to pick those eggs up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Times of Northwest Indiana, for sponsoring the event. Amazing. You ran ads. I tell you what, thank you, Victor and Allison, for allowing Kelly and myself to go out and volunteer. I spent 5 hours in the rain handing out eggs, and I've never had such a better time. It was just enlightening. And I've done that before. I've worked at food soup kitchens, Christmas handouts, you name it. This one had a severe impact on me, though, that will be long lasting because the people that showed up were in need. You could tell by looking at their clothes. You could tell by going through the parking lot and looking inside their car and seeing the pillows, the sleeping bags, and the food that what little food that they had to sustain them. And I talked to some of them, and oh my gosh, some of them just became homeless, and I talk about that all the time, but I don't think you can talk about it too much. People lost their jobs during this pandemic that never expected to, and specifically, and finally, the major media is paying attention to something that I've been saying for the past 2 months, that these people that were made independent contractors so the companies could save money are suffering. Can I say that again? These individuals that were made independent contractors by the companies for no fault of the individual themselves, but for benefit of the companies, now cannot are having a hard time collecting unemployment, even though the CARE Act assured that process. Well, I say assured, they put it on the state to carry out, and many of the states haven't figured it out yet. Many of these people, as you sit there and have gotten your stimulus check, have not received their stimulus check because of the way that was handled. They are looked upon as an independent company, and a lot of these people, when they, oh, you have a small business loan available to, well, I'm not a, they, in their mind, they're still an employee. So keep that in mind. These people now have no income. Typically, at the pay level they're at, they have no savings. So things like the food bank, and I want to state this, and I want to recognize the many organizations throughout Northwest Indiana and Chicago that have stepped forward and provided free meals. I don't want them to be eclipsed by what the food bank does. The food bank is an awesome organization, but there are some businesses out there. Um, there's a bakery up in, I think they're more than a bakery. I think they're called a bakery up in Lowell, providing free meals for seniors. And that community in Lowell has stepped forward and has agreed to deliver those meals. Last count I saw, it's like 100 and better meals a day. 100 and better meals a day in the Lowell area. Thank you. Um, as I move on, we have organizations like churches, like the First Christian Church of Griffith, GFCC, who has an outreach center that used to be a church, now distributing food items through there. That is a partner with the food bank, by the way, and that's something people often forget. They see the food bank, well, I have to go there. Food bank supports many organizations throughout the area. In fact, we just had Sojourners Truth House on. They're a partner of the food bank. So this is a early morning show dedicated to the food bank and for what it does for all, and also the partners. And we don't have time this morning because I've got to get up on my saddle and get some stuff done. As you know, we're moving, and I do want to make mention this is the last show that you'll be seeing from this house. We are moving, as you guys know, for various good reasons, but this is the last show that we'll be doing from this house. In the future, we'll be doing shows either from the new house or Studio A. So let's get on with it, shall we? Because there's a lot I want to cover today to take benefit of what's going on at the food bank. I can't say this again. You guys are probably sick of seeing this advertisement up, but tough. Deal with it. Concert starts. Kelly and I are going to come on a little bit early, like 5:45, to do a brief intro for the concert, and then we're turning it over. The first guy right out of the bat will be Lou Sandamigo, and gosh, I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, Lou. I've known this guy for 20 years, and I'm still butchering his name. Lou, believe me, it's totally me. But Lou of the famous Chris and Lou act will be coming on and heading up the line. And boy, I tell you, what an amazing artist! Not only artist but writer, and he's going to be doing all original music. So look out for that. And coming right behind him, right around 7 o'clock, will be Andrea Magolis from the local group in Chicago. This is how we wanted to step things up. We actually have a Chicago band that is performing, and they are amazing. They played at many blues clubs throughout the Chicago area, very well known throughout the Chicago area. And Andrea, oh my gosh, she has pipes. And then coming on after her will be the famous Dan Risen, who teacher by day and all other times an amazing musician. He is a teacher, and boy, I tell you what, an amazing musician. So he's going to come on, and actually is one of our leaders in getting contributions. He decided to support just recently the St. Jude House, which is a domestic violence shelter. And because of a special program that they had where they had some people step forward and said any contributions during the month, they will double. So we rose $900 for St. Jude House. Amazing. So yeah, he's kind of leading the pack because of that in contributions. Then we have Elizar Hernandez coming up after him. Oh my gosh, this guy talking about jet fuel octane. That's all I'm saying. This guy is so full of energy, and just so tune in for him. You'll be amazed. And I've said to several people, I wish we could hire him as a music director. He just brings a lot of excitement. Actually, I spoke out of step here. Actually, it's going to be Ryan next, then Eli. So Ryan is going to be coming up at the 9 o'clock hour, and Ryan is just high octane, enjoyable, really very good musician. Brings a lot of excitement. He, as far as his contributions, he decided to pick the Lakeshore Pause as a contribution, and my memory serves me, we got up to like $400 some in contributions that evening, and then Eli. He's going to be wrapping up, and he's going to be closing out this show. Again, I couldn't pick a better person to close out the show. He will keep you awake all night after you listen to him, I guarantee. He did some pretty good with a camp for kids that are struggling with cancer, and so he raised about $300 to $400 for that camp in Chicagoland. He's been a volunteer with that camp, and he decided he wanted to use that as his benefit for his concert. So, man, look out for that. I'm excited about this tonight. I just can't wait. So please tune in and enjoy. So next up, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we have the roundtable for Madison, the who's who from Madison and Milwaukee area. These are either authors or public speakers that we've invited to join. We have a viewership out there that we've been entertaining the idea of doing a special show for, because they keep joining our. I don't know why. I think their underlying Packers fans are going to take over our page. That's what I think the intent is. But they keep on liking our page, so we said, gosh, we got to do something to entertain these folks. So what we decided is invite some people back from the Madison, Milwaukee area. First of all, our friend, author, Gregory Rance, who is a retired Milwaukee fireman and also an inductee into the Law Enforcement and Firefighters Hall of Fame, and a well-noted international author. He wrote a book called Beneath the Flames that is kind of one of those fictional recounts of an actual happening where he actually saved two boys' lives that really was a tipping point for him to be nominated as an inductee into the Hall of Fame. He's going to be a part of this group. Then we have Dina Karen, who is a well-known speaker, national speaker throughout the United States, a very gifted trial lawyer, defense lawyer, and has been a deputy prosecutor for the infamous prosecutor's office in L.A. Very well-known lawyers started their career there, very well-known, internationally known lawyers. And so she is also basically a resilience revolutionary. Is the term that she coined, and you'll, if you listen to that show, you will know why. My goodness, the things that this lady has overcome in her life. And then David Benjamin, the author who has lived and is from the Madison, Milwaukee area, and moved to Paris and Japan, and has authored an amazing series of mysteries. So he again is going to be a part of this conversation. So that's tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Getting back at it, I want to make you aware of tomorrow, the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana will be doing a mobile market, which they do every few days. Tomorrow, Friday, May 8th, and that's happening at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the food bank itself. So again, this. I can't tell you how important this is for those of you out there that need food. Please, the food bank has a warehouse, of food for you to benefit from. I don't want to say a full warehouse, but it is quite big. They've got a freezer, and you guys saw the tour that we did of that, and we're going to be redoing that tour in just a bit. So please look out for that. If you're in the Maryville area, and they're all over the place. In fact, I'm going to bring up an organization which is their sister organization over in the St. Joseph County Food Bank of Northern Indiana. So Northern Indiana is covered with food banks that have, and again, both of them have outreaches through partnerships that deliver food. So great way to go by and pick up meals for your family if you are in need. And then Saturday, they will have a mobile market. This is termed a mini mobile market, and this is going to be at the Boys and Girls Club at Lake Station, and that's at 3350 Indiana Street in Hobart. So again, I think these are basically like sack lunches, if I remember that correctly. Then they will have one today, a mobile market today on Thursday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Lowell High School in Lowell, Indiana. So great things happening up in Lowell, by the way. And our queen of happiness, Mrs. Smilebag, Addison Brown, lives up in Lowell. So boy, some neat people up in Lowell. We got to, when all this blows over, so to speak, we got to get up there and do a show up in Lowell, because there's just amazing things going on up there, as there are in other communities, and we just, I guess, are made more aware of that than Lowell. So that's it for the events. That's what I talked to you about. And as you know, only one of them weren't food bank related, but so amazing stuff happening coming up the rest of the week. Next week, we've got some exciting things planned. You'll hear more about them. It's going to be kind of a light schedule. I say that now, but as soon as I say that, someone comes forward and says, "Hey, can we get on?" And okay, we'll get you on. But yeah, we're going to be finishing up our move and starting to re-equip the Studio A in Hammond Executive Suites. So looking forward to getting back there. And again, we received this email from their general manager outlining what we have to do to remain safe. I can't say that enough. That facility was on top of this before it was a pandemic. And, they had the forethought to issue guidance and safety measures for us even before the CDC declared it a national emergency. And so, that's why we feel very comfortable going back there. And, we are, it's just going to be Kelly and myself. No guests will be coming to Studio A. And knowing Kelly, she's going to exercise social distancing when we're in our small studio. So she'll, even without guests, she'll be on the other end of the studio. I know it. That's her. Or is it me? I don't know. So I do want to share with you a couple of videos that are food bank related. And I saw these. One is for the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana, a short donation video. And another one, I think Victor, if he were listening in today, and which he isn't, I know he's moving stuff and getting food ready to save lives. I think he would agree this video really does depict what both food banks do and their partnerships that they have in the community with other organizations. And that's something that they don't advertise a lot. There's so many of these organizations that they provide food for so that they can in turn provide food. Very strong organizations are part of the community. And behind the food bank, they have awesome companies supporting them, providing them either food or financial funds to keep this mission going. Zenga, the concrete company, is one of them. My gosh, they came rolling up with some of their vehicles to help deliver food. And also one of the largest contributors, I got to find out what's going up with their roll-up program, Strack and Van Til food stores. They are another huge supporter of the food bank. And in fact, I've got to find out, oh gosh, they're probably so busy at the food bank, they probably haven't had a chance to total up. I think it may be tomorrow that the roll-up program, the checkout challenge, is over. So we probably should be getting a total from that. Last time that happened, it was $186,000, and that's something that I want to tell you, and I want to is even though you see all the large amounts of money going to the food bank, you have to know that it's good, but you also have to know two things have happened to the food banks that have created catastrophic events. They're, with the pandemic and people losing their jobs, their normal donations have gone down severely. But yet, because of the things I described at the beginning of the show, the people out of work, the people in need have more than doubled. It's a challenge. If you can imagine, and a lot of us are going through that. We lost our jobs, no income, but yet we still have things to pay. That's the situation the food bank is in. And, to kind of get a picture of where their mindset is and where their heart is, Victor, and I can't say enough about Victor, when we heard that he was picked as the executive director, I said publicly to many, I can't think of a better person to pick than Victor because of his heart, his mind, and his soul. He knows how important nutrition is for students. He knows how important it is to create a partnership in the community that is a long-lasting partnership. And so, boy, Victor, I tell you what, we're big fans of yours. And so let's get back on track here. I want to show you these videos. One is just the simple video for donations to the food bank, and the other is I believe a TV station out in South Bend put it together for the food bank of Northern Indiana. Although it is kind of specific to them, I think Victor would agree that it pretty much communicates the mission of the food bank. So with that, I'm going to stumble over and get these videos played. So yeah, that pretty much is a short message from the food bank saying, exactly what I said. It's, their mission has more than doubled, and they at no more time need our support, and that's why we're here. And again, I want to get to the point is, again, they're a big organization but they supply thousands of meals a day to people in need. So keep that in mind. And also, I want to again mention some other local organizations and places that are giving free meals away. Tinker's Attic, a place that has supported us through the year, and they have a grant, I think, from BPMCO to provide free meals out of Tinker's Attic. So yeah, look on their Facebook page to see when they're happening. And we tried to get them on the show, but again, they were so busy they didn't have a chance to come on. And but yeah, they are giving free meals away thanks to a couple of contributions from other private donors and BP Amico, which I'm pretty sure is also a contributor to the food bank. So this next one, I want you to pay attention. A little bit long, but it does depict the mission of the food banks, which the umbrella organization Feeding America goes to support both of them. So you have to know that, and you've seen a lot of that. In fact, there's been several entertainers that are doing fundraising for Feeding America, and you'll see a lot of that because, I mean, literally, I think we've all identified that, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people out of work, and there are a lot of people that now need food more so than ever. And typically in a typical environment, there would be other resources available to them, but those other resources are so taxed that, they're just taxed. That's it. So that's why the food banks have to step in. So let's get on to this video, and then I'm going to call it a show and move on. A lot to do today. Get ready for next week and the move, and getting Studio A ready, and getting ready for the concert tonight and the show tomorrow. So with that, I'm going to play the last video here.
Today, hundreds of cars waited in line at the food bank of northern Indiana.
So on March 11th, I believe that was a Wednesday, so we saw like 18 families. Then the next week, we boomed. We had 97 families in 1 week. 72 of those families were new.
We have had a lot of people come through and say they've never been to a pantry before, they've never had to ask for help before.
We're seeing about a 75 to 100% increase. Yes, we are seeing some clients, shoppers, guests that came here to shop prior to the outbreak, but we're seeing new faces, a lot of new faces.
Instead of everyone coming in and registering and having donuts and coffee with our volunteers, we are out in the parking lot with vests on and a tent and handing out boxes. So it's quite a different experience for us.
People who may have transportation challenges, it makes it easier for them.
I think our first thought was just that what are all these people going to do? They were talking about closing things down, and maybe there would be food shortages, different things we were hearing on the news.
We saw a need to have insurance policy, meals made up ahead of time, just in case this goes longer and people start reaching their capacity.
We have so many things to think about during this time, and putting food on the table shouldn't be one of them.
Wow. Yeah, and that video says it all for all the food banks across the United States, I believe. What an amazing organization. Thousands of people in Northwest Indiana alone served. And that's just a little dent into the need. Yeah. Yet, they've broken records. That is one thing. One thing I do want to say, and I got off track, which I often do this early in the morning. I look at organizations that are worthy of our attention. It's typically those who don't have a big administrative expense, that are not looking to sustain themselves to provide the mission. And boy, I can't think of any better than the Food Bank in Northwest Indiana. You get that visually when you walk into their warehouse. On the outside, yes, it looks like an amazing facility. Look at the parking lot. They really need a new parking lot, but they got it to the point, thanks to some pavers that came in and patched it to the point where it's drivable. But quite honestly, the entrance at one time looked like a moon crater. And so some people step forward to get that fixed free of charge. They just got it done. And then you walk into the entrance. Again, it's a nice facility. When they renovated the Handy Andy, that needed some renovation. You get the sense, nice looking facility. But then you see buckets scattered all over the entrance. They have a roof problem there that they've been trying to get a handle on, but yet they have a mission to feed people, to save lives. And knowing that they have kept focus, laser guided focus on that purpose, and said, yes, our roof is leaking. Yes, we have a parking lot that needs to be repaved, but yet put all those dollars into making sure the food gets out to their partners and to the mobile markets to save lives. That is where it's at, ladies and gentlemen, saving lives during a pandemic. There is no other goal at mind than saving lives. It's not self-sustaining. And I want to tell you about our philosophy at the Bill and Kelly Show, and I think you've heard this ad nauseum. We have paused our sponsorships. Yes, we are not getting any income, but yet we continue to play the ads from companies that have supported us in the past. In fact, I venture to say that we have played their advertisements more during this pandemic than we ever played when we received checks from them monthly. Several of them said, check's on its way. I said, check getting torn up. Exactly. Our philosophy is we suffer along with those companies who have provided us support. We are going to look at, now that Indiana is opening up, going back to the sponsor saying, only when your business is healthy will we accept a check from you. And some of them are. I mean, some of them have been. They have not stopped. Tiger Plumbing, I think, has had people's pipes break. They need to get it taken care of. I constantly kid them. I said, you guys put up with people's crap, don't you? And they said, oh, yeah. So, Tiger Plumbing, an amazing, amazing plumber. I just wish we could get them more places. And, they've been a great partner of ours. And Brown Insurance has been an absolutely great partner. And, they've recognized us on their list of donations and support. And they will be with us till the end of the year and hopefully on into the end of the year. And then we have Les Cafe. Boy, oh boy, so that's one place that we've got on pause. Then we have Sip Coffee House. And we just saw in fact, I'm going to share it. They're opening up on the 18th for 50% capacity with some very stringent guidelines. And thank you, Rhonda, for doing this. They looked at those guidelines on the state of Indiana and made sure that they're adhering to them. So they're opening up on the 18th because Lake County is one of those counties. The list goes on. Promise You Art House. We saw that they're, I think, moving some stuff back in or whatever. Our hearts are with them. Again, we want to see them get back up and on their feet before we even consider taking on a donation from them. And we have expenses. We've had licensing. Every month we have better than, oh man, I don't even want to mention it, but we have licensing that's due, and those are not forgivable. If we don't pay that licensing, we go dark. So that's what it is. We have expenses. Gas expenses are probably our largest one, going back and forth, and still today. And our equipment expense. We've got so much wrapped up in equipment. I don't even want to. Oh God. Anyway, I won't bore you with that. But what I'm trying to say, our heart is supporting organizations that really are heroes, and the food bank is one of those. And I'll wrap this up because I'm going on and on here, but that's our morning show. If you want to listen to a perfectly scripted one, yeah. But all right, so that's really about it. The concert, please tune in. And there's going to be a donation button. Click on it, and those dollars go directly to the food bank of Northwest Indiana. And so again, 5 times that button will appear tonight. And please, whatever you can, it will be appreciated immensely. And as you know, in the past, I try to call out names as people donate as best as I can. And so, yeah, we appreciate your support. And that's it. That's it. That's the show. That's all, folks. So with that, I will say, please stay safe. Please, exercise social distancing. Wash those hands. You've been hearing that lifelong from your mothers. See, Mom was always right, wasn't she? You always need to wash your hands. Yeah, I still remember that, sitting down at the table. First thing, Billy, have you washed your hands? And I'm like, okay, Mom, get up. She always knew. So, yeah. So with that, we'll say goodbye for now, and you will be seeing our next show when we pop up. Will be from our new house out in Chesterton, and then Studio A, awesome Studio A. A little programming note: you'll notice something different about the morning show. It's going to be low tech because all of our equipment's going to be at Studio A. So I'm just going to do it from my phone. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Oh, yeah, some Bill and Kelly show. Look at that. And, well, get over it, pal. All right? I wish we could have 2 sets of equipment, but, yeah, in the morning show, I can't get to Hammond early enough to do it. So with that, I will say goodbye and wish you a safe day. Goodbye for now.
This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by Tiger Plumbing. Whether you need to replace a faucet, overhaul your sump pump, or desludge your drains, call Tiger Plumbing. In today's world, knowing who's at your door is important. Tiger Plumbing sends you your technician's photo, estimated time of arrival, and a little bit about him or her. Hey, Sam likes fishing and camping. Cool.